Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lord Exsus, and I'd like to welcome you all to Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition. Now, I did not know this game existed. I knew Neverwinter Nights did, and Neverwinter Nights 2, and the online massively multiplayer game Neverwinter. But I didn't know this had been re-released. BioWare, the company that I did love so much for their games like Mass Effect and Dragon Age, got some early success with a variant of Dungeons & Dragons games, as made by Wizards of the Coast, and partnered with BioWare to make some of the first 3D Dungeons & Dragons games. And Neverwinter was the result. What I didn't realise is it had been re-released under the Enhanced Edition, I'm guessing last year, by another company that has been doing a lot of Dungeons & Dragons re-releases and sort of refreshes, a company called Beamdog. And yeah, I didn't realise this had happened. The second one hasn't by the looks of their website, but this one had. And I played the second one a hell of a lot, but that's really hard to get hold of, and most computers don't want to run it now because it's just old coding. It's really quite rank apparently, but this game has been enhanced and re-released just as Baldur's Gate has. So I wanted to play it because I'm a big fan. A lot of you aren't necessarily going to be a fan of this video and aren't a fan of Dungeons & Dragons in general. I'm not the biggest fan, but this game was good. The reason you might not like it is it's sort of circa PlayStation 2 generation, so it does look like arse. It's not held up to time well, but I want to play it because it's going to be an experience. It's going to be good, and from what I can remember, it has an amazing story. Also, we get both the expansions, Shadows of the Undertime and Hordes of the Underdark. So that's a good thing. Anyway, enough jabbering. I want to get in. So, I say I want to get in. We're going to be a little while creating our character because we have to choose a campaign to load to begin with. So we've got Neverwinter Nights, we've got Neverwinter Nights Shadow of the Undertime, and we've got Neverwinter Nights Hordes of the Underdark. Also, we can buy premium Neverwinter Nights modules, and there are other modules listed, I believe, like created ones. It's all part of some server that runs for Neverwinter Nights. Anyway, we're going to go with the standard campaign, and we're going to go to the prelude. But first, we're going to create a new character. So gender, male, obviously. Race, because it's their preferred class, I'm going to go with elf. Elves are known for their poetry, song, and magical arts, but when danger threatens, they show great skill with weapons and strategy. Elves can live to be over 700 years old, and by human standards are slow to make friends and enemies, and even slower to forget them. Elves are slim and stand 4.5 to 5.5 feet tall. They tend to be pale-skinned and dark-haired with deep green eyes. They have no facial and body hair, prefer comfortable clothes, and possess unearthly grace. Many other races find them hauntingly beautiful. And as you can see, the elven ability adjustments are +2 to Dex, -2 to Constitution, but their favourite class is Wizard, which means if they multi-class, as stated here, the Wizard class does not count as a class. They don't get an XP penalty for that, meaning you don't get an XP penalty because the game decides you're only taking one class. So that can be quite handy. But anyway, hitting OK. Portrait. I'm going to choose this one. There's loads of different lovely portraits of elves and other people as well. Quite lovingly hand drawn. I quite like this one. It's like a mage exploding with power. This one's quite shady. You also have standard symbols and symbology like a dragon, paladinish one, cheeky human wizard, stuff like that. But we're going to be an elf, so this one I'll try and make a guy look a littleish like this. It's not going to be possible. He's going to look like a block monster, but hey, it's a class. And of course, we are going to go for the wizard. I said mage earlier, but it's wizard. You can also, somewhere on here, wizard is one, sorcerer. Now, sorcerer are kind of more of your standard damage dealing type casters. They also get more casts of every spell from the beginning, if I remember. They're kind of more charismatic. They tend to be more on the human side of things because they're not tongue-in-cheek as such, but they literally their charisma stat is their casting stat. So it's more through sheer force of will that they learn to cast magic, and that makes them quite powerful in destruction-ish type spells. But they get more at the beginning, but they don't get anywhere near as many or near as many powers to extend them, make them more powerful, and become a more multifaceted caster. Whereas a wizard, as stated here, wizards are arcane spellcasters who depend on intensive study to create their magic. To wizards, magic is not a talent, but a difficult, rewarding art. When they are prepared for battle, wizards can use their spells to devastating effect. When caught by surprise, they are vulnerable. The wizard's strength is in her spells, and well, I'll discuss this in a second. But basically, for some reason, in all D&D class selectors or such, they always refer to everyone as her. It's a weird thing that Dungeons and Dragons has always done. I don't know why. Anyway, everything else is secondary. She learns new spells as she experiments and grows in experience, and she can also learn them from other wizards. In addition, over time, a wizard learns to manipulate her spells so they go farther, work better, or are improved in some other way. A wizard can call a familiar a small magical creature that serves her. Okay, so warning. To cast a spell, a wizard must have an intelligence score of 10 plus the spell's level. For example, to cast a 9th level spell, which I think are the highest level spells, don't quote me on that, a wizard must have an intelligence of 19. The states here are hit dice, so the dice, or the die, that grants us health out of all of the different types of die, ranging all the way up to the 20-sided die, I believe, is a D4, and I believe we only have 1, so we are literally going to have 4 HP when we start the game. Proficiencies. Proficient with wizard weapons, whatever that is, I believe staffs, wands, and so on and so forth, maybe a dagger. Wizards are not proficient with armor or shields. Skill points. 4 at the first level, 2 plus whatever your intelligence modifier is. Spellcasting. Arcane. Intelligence-based spell preparation is required. Spell failure for armor is a factor. Yes, if we wear armor, mages, wizards do not wear armor. Armor, the heavier it gets, the less you can move your body and move your arms, and the more likely a spell is to fail. If a spell fails, sometimes it just doesn't cast. Sometimes it can fail badly and detonate in your face, killing you as well. Wizards begin the game knowing all cantrips and 4 first level spells. Cantrips are basically level 0 spells, or level a half. They're more sort of, not necessarily buffs or debuffs, but they're kind of little useful things, like maybe being able to open a lock or light a candle. Stuff like that. Stuff that's more background things, although it could also be covering an enemy's skin in magical oil, so then you can use a first level spell to set them on fire to more devastating effect. So that's that. Anyway, right, alignment. Alignments are what they would be in reality, and this will stop you taking quests off certain people, help you take quests off other people, and generally see how certain groups act towards you and certain people in general. It also may judge on what you can do in the story overall. It depends. So you've got lawful good, neutral good, chaotic good, lawful neutral, true neutral, chaotic neutral, lawful evil, neutral evil, chaotic evil. I'm going to go with chaotic good. It's most like the characters I make in any game. So a chaotic good character acts as his conscience directs him, with little regard for what others expect. He believes in goodness and right, but has little use for laws and regulations. He follows his own moral compass, which, although good, may not agree with that of society. A ranger who waylays an evil baron's tax collectors is chaotic good. Chaotic good combines a good heart with a free spirit. That's what we're going for. Okay, abilities. Now, it states here, warning, we strongly suggest that you make use of the recommended button. This will optimize your attributes for the class that you've selected. I will do this and then I will plan around. So, recommended, and that's what we've got. I want to change a few things. I want to take Constitution down by 1, Dexterity down, and then I wish to put Intelligence up. Intelligence has only gone up by 1, but the maximum intelligence you can have at your starting level is 18. And when you level up, you don't get to put a point into stats every time. So I believe like 20 may be the most intelligence we can actually ever hold. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I know 18 is the most you can have at the beginning. So I'm going to take Dex down by 2 more, and these will be my starting stats. Although I'd rather have Dex up by 1 and Wisdom down. See, I want my willpower to be higher because I'm assuming it's a mana-based game. It's not. You get a certain amount of charges and spell casts you can have for each spell, depending on, I believe, your character's level and class. I thought wisdom may affect that, because in future games, wisdom, not D&D games necessarily, but wisdom affects how many mana points, or mana, how much mana you can have, therefore affecting how many spells you can cast. I don't think that's the case here. Let me just quickly read. It affects a druid and cleric's number of spells, but I believe, if I'm right, yes, intelligence directly influences how many spells I can cast as a wizard. So that's fine. So I'll put that up there. We'll leave 1 point in dexterity, because we need to be slightly dexterous. Since the fact is, we need to be avoiding shit. Because if we get hit, we die. We're very squishy. Anyway, that's good. So 18, and that is definitely the max I can have at level 1. So anyway, that's good. Packages. None of this I'm going to side with, because I don't want to specialise. I want to generalise. So I'm going for generalist. I want to be able to use all spells from all different schools of magic. So, and then finally customise. And yes, this is how our character looks. This is the nasty little block monster graphics we have for Neverwinter, since it is an old game, like I said, circa PlayStation 2. So I'm going to go with that hair. The skin colour can remain the same. The hair colour is changing to black. And we are going to change our starting clothing to... That is nice. That will do. I know there are others. There's actually quite a bit of starting clothing. That looks a bit dark. I don't know if it's magey. I don't really care. We are not having any tattoos. Anyway.
Get on them! Attack, I say!
Okay, so this is one of the weirdish things, or old school things that I love about D&D games. Number one, we're going to choose our voice. So let's listen to some of these.
By my direction, attack!
Not so much. Let's look at the sociopath. I'm a bit of a sociopath, so let's look at the sociopath.
I want to see suffering.
Yeah, okay, I'm not quite that sociopathic.
Your remains shall decorate my home.
Okay, let's listen to the good wizard.
Now you shall taste my power.
No, he doesn't sound that good. He sounds pretty Star Wars Emperor.
Feel my wrath.
Yeah, fuck it, we'll go with that. We're an elf after all. That's about as evil as we can sound. I mean, there's other ones, brash.
Get on them! Attack, I say!
Good-natured, boisterous.
To your weapons, and don't let up.
Violent fighter.
Attack!
But yeah, so you got a little bit of a choice, and since we're male, we've obviously got all of the males. So we'll go with good
now
wizard, though.
You shall taste my power.
Secondly, our name. So I'm not sure we have to have a first and a last name. The game might force us to. But I'm going to delete them both. And we're going to go with, of course, Exsus. The age of 120 seems reasonable, considering we live to about 700, according to what elves are. So 120 is about the equivalent of an actual 20-year-old human. And also, this is crazy. I'm not going to change this for now. I might write something in before the next episode if I decide to do more than one episode on this game. But you can write your own biography about where your character came from, what they did. This is a major D&D nerds fucking love fest. Like, your dream, especially if you know all about the lore, about the whole world of Faerun or the Forgotten Realms, Sword Coast, Neverwinter in general. You can write as much as you want in here, I believe. I believe that I'll just keep scrolling down. Anyway, we're not going to do that. We're not going to write. We're going to leave it as the standard. Wanderlust has recently lured you to enter the human lands. And we're just going to leave it there. I believe you can change this at any time. It doesn't stay locked. So I can actually delete that and write in something completely stupid about how we kicked out of the elven hierarchy or elven castle for having sex with all 5 princesses of the elven king, and we were caught like in his trance. I don't know, but anyway, there's also deity. Enter the name of your deity. We don't actually get to choose one. We have to enter the name. No, we're not going to worry about that. We're going to have no deity. Anyway, will it allow us to continue as Exsus? It will indeed. We are just Exsus. Character record. This is our stuff. This is how we go. And we're ready to play. So, I don't know if there's an intro cutscene. If there is, I'll leave you to it. We'll hit the play button and see where we go.
The frozen north. the name given to the stark and unforgiving frontier that lies beyond the high moor of Faerun. A bleak wilderness where barbarian clans and tribes of giants roam the land, and fierce dragons rule the skies. But amidst the frozen savagery stands a bastion of civilization, the city of Neverwinter, Jewel of the North. Behind the city's high walls, those both hardy and brave carve out an existence from this bleak land under the guidance and protection of the legendary hero, Lord Nasher Alagonda. Yet there are some things that all the courage in the world cannot stand against. A virulent plague swept the city, a terrible affliction that began in the beggar's nest. Soon, all of Neverwinter would feel the touch of the Wailing Death. The disease could not be cured. Panic ensued. The streets erupted into violence. The Jewel of the North was brought to its knees. To save Neverwinter, Lady Aribeth de Tilmarand, Paladin of Tyr, and Lord Nasher's right hand put forth the call for a champion. A rush of would-be heroes answered her call, some drawn by promises of grandeur and glory, others by the lure of gold. Those with the greatest potential were initiated into the academy to train and study under the greatest minds of Neverwinter, all in the hopes a champion might emerge to save the city from the Wailing Death, and whatever sinister force might be behind it.
Okay, so we're in the game, guys, and those cutscenes, or those drawn picture cutscenes, could they have been any smaller? Seriously. Like, that's one thing Beamdog obviously didn't sort out, is the fact that they were like that. Like, if you didn't have an old PC to play an old game like this, and you can see how old it is, I mean, look, this is the isometric view we still get, and this is the graphics. Everything is square. Everything is square. But, yeah, I mean, I could tell you it's running at 60 frames a second, but the game will not move at that speed, I don't think, at all. But yeah, this is, I don't know how to turn on the run. I guess our guy's going to be walking forever till I learn some stuff. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to go over to this chest. So that's a cutscene. So, oh, we have, oh yeah, you can touch the edges of the screens as well to pan the camera, which is probably a bit smoother than what I was doing. Yeah. Anyway, we have some stuff in this chest, some hella stuff in this chest. I don't know how to do anything because this game does not fucking tutorialize you in the normal way. So we have rest, options, video options, game options. I have already changed the video options. This is as good as it can possibly look. We have a wizard's robe. Is that him? No, the chest is up here. The chest only has a club. Okay, so if I press... Yes, that is true. Our shit is up here. Rogue's tunic. We're going to put our wizard's robe on. Because that tunic's actually a robe. It does look a little bit silly and almost over the top. But what have we got in here? Summon creature. Can I commit this to use summon creature? There is a way. We can use summon creature, or we can... Okay, that done nothing. Oh, we read it out. Like, so we cannot. They are literally. What did we get? What is that? What are you? You are a dire badger. You are an like a hardcore badger. Like not just a normal badger, a dire badger, like a dire wolf. That is. What am I going to call you, dire badger? We're gonna have to give you a name. Okay, so these are one-use spells because, of course, they are magic missiles there as well. They're not in my spellbook. I have no idea how to get them up. So we have Summon Familiar, we have Mage Armor, Summon Creature 1. Okay, so we have a few things here. I don't have an idea of how to do this. So let's look at the journal. It will tell us, hopefully. Journal? No. Why were you glowing if that is absolutely okay? Academy training. Sorry. You have trained long at the academy, and today is your final day. To begin your adventures in Neverwinter, speak with each of the instructors in the complex. All will be able to give you tutorial information about basic skills. I can't actually read that because my thing's in the way. To complete that one, skills and blah. Sorry, my bar's in the way, guys. I can't. That's something you can read. I can't. To complete the last lesson, depending on whether your main focus is combat, rogue skills, divine magic, or arcane sorcery, bards will be able to complete any of these tests. With most other classes must report to the expert in their chosen field. Okay, so I'm guessing the Dire Badge is going to stay here. It always annoyed me about this game, if I remember rightly, that number one, they're still skipping. This game is ancient. I guess that's what happens with the programming. So we need to report people anyway. Here we go. Spellbook. So the cantrip is level 0 spells. Okay. I probably want to... I don't know. I kind of want to keep my familiar. Although F5 is something familiar. So who's our actual familiar? Okay. We have Uria. It's a bat. Our familiar is a bat. Are we actually a fucking vampire? So, we only have... Did I not get to... Did I not get to shoot? I do get more spells. Okay. I want Magic Missile in there. But as you can see, now I put that in there, I'm going to have... You can only have 2 upon a rest. You can only have 2 prepared at level 1. That's all I'm allowed. Also, you can hit this, and it'll tell us about Magic Missile. You've got to have Magic Missile. It is the standard D&D spell. So, it says Wizard Sorcerer. It's a level 1 spell. It's also innate level 1. The school is Evocation. Descriptions is a force. It's force magic. It is literally just plain magic. Components are verbal and semantic. In the Dungeons & Dragons universe, it is important to note that there are components to spells. The minimal will always be verbal. Always. And I'm probably going into a little bit too much detail for you guys. You just want me to get on with the fucking game. But this is important. We're building this up because I want to do at least 2 episodes of this. I might like it. I might end up hating it because it might end up being just too slow and too old. I just wanted to try and get back into it. Because, you know, it's still fun for me. But yeah, okay. Bit off topic there. There is at least 1 component to every spell. It must at least be verbal. Or at least have 1 component. Sometimes spells don't have any verbal component, but it must have at least 1. Verbal is the standard. Verbal is obviously spoken. So your mage, your wizard guy is going to say some words. Boom, you've got a spell. In this case, and in most cases, there is verbal and semantic. Semantic is the movement of your body. I believe anyway, so it's the waving of hands, the pointing in a direction. I believe anyway. Anyway, so I'm going to leave that alone. Area of effect. The area of effect is the target you're pointing at, the target you're aiming at. The duration is instant. Additional counter spells. There's nothing there. There is no save for magic missiles, but there is spell resist. They can't do a save against it and miss it entirely, but they can do a complete resistance, like depending on what their stats are. So anyway, the description for this is: the caster creates a shimmering projectile of magical force that unerringly slams into a single selected target. After level 1, the spell creates 1 additional missile every 2 cast levels to a maximum of 5 missiles. At level 9, magic missiles do 1d4 plus 1 points of damage each. They basically get a damage increase after level 9, or after caster level 9. That's good, but like I said to you, magic missile is darkened out there, and that's because I haven't rested to prepare the spell. Because if you choose a new spell, you have to rest to prepare. So let's do that. And literally our guy sits down. Also, Dire Badger is gone, and the spell is wasted. But I don't care so much about that. We still have Uriah. So if I look at spells now, Magic Missile has indeed returned. That's good. I can also take you. No, I can't take you out of there, but I can. place magic missile into that slot, which is F7. And yeah, I don't know how many casts we get of each of these. That doesn't actually state. I guess I'll just have to use them. So, Mage Armor is F6. And you have to click on yourself to use Mage Armor, obviously. You heard those weird words. That was me casting Mage Armor on myself. I don't know where I look at to see how long it lasts. Oh, there. AC is just increased. We can... It's either right or left click and you can actually take it off yourself. I'm not going to take Mage Armor off myself. I'm going to leave it there. But that is done. So we, by all accounts, get one cast of our level 1 magics. One of each at this beginning level. Anyway, let's mosey on and talk to people. Let's go talk to Pavel. Oh, God.
Finally, you're up. I was afraid you were going to sleep all day. I guess the instructors work you pretty hard here at the academy.
Hello, Pavel. And you notice when you talk to someone, you can actually zoom in a lot more. I do look actually quite vampire-y. I want to suck your blood. Okay, continue.
My name's Pavel. I'm one of the new recruits. I just arrived here at the academy this morning.
And he also says you're Exsus, aren't you? Yes, I am Exsus, Pavel. Okay, that's as much as they decided to do on voice acting. Is it true that what they say about you, that Lady Arabeth herself ordered the academy to send you an invitation to come here for training? Well, you know, Arabeth. I can't remember who the fuck she... I really wish my mouse would stop doing that. Yeah. She wanted some of the Elven D. What can I say? I've never heard of anyone being invited to train at the academy before. Usually people are begging to get in. It must be a great honour for you. Okay, well, so we've got multiple dialogue options. This is how Dungeons and Dragons games work. So, it is both an honour and a privilege for me to serve Neverwinter. When you have as much talent and skill as I do, you get used to these kind of honours. Who cares about honour? I just came because I sense the potential for real profit. So, if I was an egotistical motherfucker, I'd choose the second one. And I really hate people with an ego, so that's not going to happen. If I was a roguish type, I'd definitely choose the bottom one. But we're gonna be nice. We're gonna go for top one, which is a little bit okay. And that small visual effect was my mage armor wearing off, which I will not get back unless I rest. Which you cannot rest when enemies are around. I will be able to rest in a second. But anyway, yeah, this is a bit of a ring lick. This is a bit lick-ass, but I'm gonna choose it anyway. You're pretty modest for someone who's got such high expectations on him. It wasn't quite so easy for me to get into the academy. Well, with a name like Pavel, probably wasn't. That'd be funny. And you've got really weird floppy hair. Look at that shit. Anyway, continue. My brother, Bim. Am I reading that? I am reading that right. Your brother's name is Bim. God, your parents hated you guys. Anyway, and I were working on one of the nearby farms outside the city when we heard Lady Arabeth had put out the call for heroes to come to the aid of Neverwinter. We knew the city was suffering, but we didn't realise how bad things were until we got here. We arrived just before they sealed the gates and quarantined the city. Thank the gods I got accepted into the academy. I wouldn't want to be out there on the streets with a plague, not with a city guard barely able to keep order anymore. Okay, so we've got a few different options here. Let's ask about the plague. The Wailing Death is plague worse than any recorded in the entire history of Neverwinter. The whole city has been quarantined. Nobody's allowed in or out. Okay. The Neverwinter militia do their best to enforce the quarantine, but people don't like being trapped inside the walls of a plague-infested city. I can't imagine why, Pavel. Every day more bodies pile up in the streets and the citizens move one step closer to panic and open rebellion. Can't say I blame them. It's only been a few months and already the dead number in the thousands. Jesus Christ, how big is Neverwinter? Okay, so shouldn't someone be searching for a cure? Most people have given up any hope of finding a cure for the Wailing Death. Potions and medicinal herbs do nothing, and even the prayers of the city's most powerful clergy have been ineffective. No shit, since when have the prayers of the clergy ever done anything? Okay. I guess that's why Lady Arabeth ordered the academy to open its doors to new recruits. The city needs a hero, someone who can save us from the Wailing Death. I'm going to say something about Arabeth now. Clearly, she is retarded. Because there is no way No way in hell a hero will save you from the Wailing Death. It's a plague. Burn everything. Okay, the word on the street is that Arabeth is actually working on a cure right here in the academy, but that's just a rumour, probably not even true. Okay, so I'm not going to talk to him anymore. We need to crack on a little bit. I want to be able to at least use one magic missile before this episode's over. So I think it's time for me to go now. Yeah, I guess you want to get on with your training. Well, good luck, Exsus. Who knows? Maybe the next time we meet, those rumours for a cure to the Wailing Death will turn out to be true. Don't forget to say hi to my twin brother Bim over there by the door on your way out. I don't know if I want to say hello to Bim. He's got a stupid name. I guess I have to. Do I have to? Oh! Doesn't matter. It's not like cutscene. I can actually zoom in this far. Well, at least that's nice. At least we get a... Oh, God. Our character's face is horrific.
Hey there. I want to talk to you.
I know you did, Bim. I really know you did. I like how it says Exus then uninjured underneath. That's pretty cool.
I saw you talking to my brother Pavel. My name is Bim. If you want, I can give you a short tutorial on adventuring.
I'm going to say yes because I can't remember how to play this game. So I've got stuff down here like we've got stealth mode, light crossbow, and dagger. I don't know why those two are my weapons. Actually, more importantly, I haven't actually got a weapon equipped, so that's bullshit. And there's my character sheet. Oh yeah, we have feats as well. This is something I probably should explain to you guys, but combat casting, these feats are like natural abilities that we kind of get depending on race and class, but they're physical attributes rather than like your magic and your skills. I will be using these at given points, especially things like Scribe Scroll, which now I realise I have. I really shouldn't have got rid of the Dire Badger and used that, because I could have scribed that scroll. Basically, it destroys the scroll you have, but you inscribe it into your spell book, and therefore you get the spell permanently. So I will be doing that momentarily. You need quill and ink to do that, though. Anyway, give me the tutorial. I'm just going to come out here. Give me the tutorial, Bim. Just to let you know, you can break out of any conversation at any time by pressing the escape key on your keyboard, or by walking away from the character you are speaking to. Now let's begin the tutorial. Okay. Whenever you left-click the mouse on a creature or an object in the game, the character performs a default action. Default left-click actions include speaking to a person, attacking a monster, or opening doors and chests. Okay, good to know. Let's talk a little about camera control and viewpoints. There are 3 different camera styles you can use when playing Neverwinter Nights. I'm setting you to the top-down camera mode to start this tutorial. It's the default setting for the game. I want to know about different camera modes, Bim. You're in top-down camera mode right now. To move around in this mode, use the mouse, and your character will run any place you see on the screen. Okay. You can rotate the camera left or right and zoom in and out using the arrow keys, or you can use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out, and you can hold the wheel, use the mouse to rotate the camera. I know, like so. That's actually a little bit easier than going towards the edge of the screens. But this is... we can actually come right down as well, which is also handy. It looks a bit weird because the ceiling just looks black, but this is old school. This is almost like... I mean, actually, RuneScape still looked worse than this in the day, but I quite like this. I quite like this, because we can zoom out as much as we want, and do that, zoom down. And you're not allowed to see into the next rooms. That's always awesome. Anyway, go ahead and move around. Okay, cool. You want me to move around? Did I just run randomly then? Oh, yeah. When you press WAS and D, he actually turns like this. You don't turn while moving. That's amazing. It only turns while moving like this, and it's actually... camera's completely free of movement control, so you turn around and do that. That's why it's better to come up here and actually click where you want to go, because he actually responds that way. Okay, what else you got to tell me, Bim? I don't know if I want to. Oh God, you look creepy. Hello. Okay.
Okay, you've had a chance to test out the top-down camera mode. Now we'll let you try the chase camera mode.
Okay. Moving in the chase camera mode is the same as top-down camera mode, but in the mode the camera automatically rotates to follow you as you move around. If you wish, you can still use zoom in and out and rotate left and right manually using the arrow keys. Go ahead, move around in chase camera mode. So what does... not being funny, if we can zoom in as far and do that. I don't actually mind that much. That actually kind of works. Yeah, it's not too bad. Our character still moves like fucking awfully, but anyway. Okay, what's the last camera mode?
Okay, you've had a chance to test out the chase camera mode. Now we'll let you try the driving camera mode.
Okay, what's driving camera mode? This one's a little different. You still control the camera using the arrow keys, but in driving camera mode, movement can also be controlled by the keyboard. WAS keys moves you forward. WNS keys move you forward, move you backwards. A and D turns you left and right. And you can also strafe. Okay, go ahead, move around in this mode. Let's do that thing. So how does this work? Well, this is normal. This is the best. This is how modern games do it. Okay, so we're gonna keep this mode because this works better. This is basically chase mode, but better. And I'm assuming if I come up here, I don't actually mean to do that, but I'm assuming I can still click to move. So why would I ever want that to be different? Well, thank you. Good thing I actually did talk to you, peasants.
Okay then.
Okay, Exsus, you had a chance to try all
three
cameras.
camera modes now.
Okay.
You can choose between them by selecting controls from the option.
I'm going to use driving camera mode. Done. Okay, now you understand the camera modes. Let's continue with the tutorial. You can right-click on any object or creature in the game, even including yourself. They're very important to remember, as right-clicking will bring up a menu that lets you access most of your abilities and actions. Cool, cool. Try right-clicking on me to bring up the menu. I will. Please tell me I can slap you about. Oh, look at that. Special attacks. Attack.
Ow,
I want to talk to you
my
again.
weapon has no effect.
No. That was a really shit voice. Anyway, so you want to talk to me again.
I want to talk to you again.
Okay, so talk to.
Okay. Seems like you got the radial menu figured out. Remember, right-click on objects to bring up the radial menu. You can even right-click on yourself to access skills, feats, and other special abilities.
Cool, cool. Good to know. Good to know. Take a look at your quick bar at the bottom of the screen. Your quick bar is one of the most important features in this game. You should learn to use your quick bar. Quick bar lets you use many of the most important skills, feats, abilities, and items. To use an ability from the quick bar, just hit the corresponding function key from your keyboard and click it, or click on the quick bar slot with your mouse. You can pull up a second quick bar by holding Shift on your keyboard. Hold Shift and press the corresponding function key. Yes, we do have a second one. That is beautiful. I will be rearranging this as well. The stuff at the bottom, obviously I want stuff like Mage Armor and Magic Missile in slots 2 and 3. As soon as I equip a weapon that I can use, I will have a weapon in slot 1 because you press F1 and he'll just start attacking with said weapon, obviously. But I want a staff or something. My magics aren't going to last very long, although I believe, again, if we go over here and we go to Spellbook, we have some cantrips, like Ray of Frost is actually a damaging spell, so is Flare. I don't know how many times we can use. I think we can use them once. Yeah, it states 1 next to them, so that gives us a little bit like Electric Jolt as well. So I'm probably going to put the cantrips on, and then Magic Missile is going to be one of the last things I use because it's going to be more powerful. Again, we will get more cast with these as we go along. Anyway, yes, I understand that. You can pull a third quick bar up by holding down Control. Oh, beautiful. So we have 3 lots. We've got plenty of quick bars. That's good. You can change abilities on your quick bar by right-clicking on the respective box and assigning a new ability with a function key. So that's also good. So right-click, and it disappears. Beautiful. And say, for instance, we wanted this in here. Boom. Like a baller. We don't, and that mode was stealth, so I would actually like to get that back. How do we? Spellbook, rest, options. I think it's in character sheet, and I think we go across to feats. We do. Do we not? Feat, stealth, persuade, resist, search. Should be in here. Yeah, move silently. I don't actually want move silently back, but what I'll do. Hello? Come with me. Or not. Fuck on you. Ah. That's because they're in here. Assign command. Attack nearest, follow, stand your ground. That's not what I wanted. Emotes. Ooh, did not mean to do that either. Assign other actions. Assign talk to, assign examine, but so yeah, this is stuff I'm gonna have to look through. Special abilities. There you go, stealth mode. So, and then we can take it away as well. Empty quick slot. Beautiful. So I'll rather than boring you guys with every single one of those details, I'm just kind of learning because I haven't played this game. Well, this game hasn't played this game in fucking decades. Look at it. But yeah, these are things I'll mess around with when you guys aren't around and get the base for it. And yeah. Anyway, yes, I am ready. Another important part of the game is your character sheet. We know that's this character C. I am Exsus, the elf wizard, Celtic good. Got all my shit there. We know. Character sheet displays your ability scores on window screen. Also, any special effects on your character, such as spells or items that affect your stats, given special immunities or abilities, can be seen scrolling down to the bottom of your character sheet. These special effects are also represented by icons that appear on the top of the screen, just to the left of your character portrait, which I had an AC bonus earlier from Mage Armor. That did indeed appear. He is not a liar. In the top character sheet window are several tabs. Click on these tabs to bring up sheets displaying your skills, feats and spells. Beautiful. Next I'll tell you about the pause play function when you are ready. I am ready. In single player, pause and play is enabled by default. In a multiplayer game, it's up to the DM whether pause play is enabled. When pause and play is enabled, you can pause the game by pressing the spacebar. Like so, it states the game is paused. And this is a very important element for me because now we are paused. Now there is only so much we can see. Look, my character's stretching back. He's like, ooh, we've got all Matrixy. This is really handy, and this is the feature that I love the fact they added this to Western turn-based RPGs as well, because now we've got the game pause timer up here. This allows you to strategically plan out every fight, and that is, in a game like this where movement's quite slow, you'd think that wouldn't be necessary. This is fucking critical in a game like this. So yeah, anyway, we're going to unpause and we're going to continue. The actions will show up in an action queue across the top of the screen. Oh, that's different. It's usually left or right. But anyway, you can clear the action queue at any time by clicking on the ground. So yeah, I've got that. Okay, we're almost done with the tutorial now. Just one last thing left for me to teach you if you're ready to go. Yes, I am. We've covered most of the basics of control, so now it's time for you to focus on how to rest. Resting is a very important part of the game. And I'm actually going to end his dialogue because I know how to rest. It is this one. Resting. And at least we don't need a campfire or anything to do this, guys. So that is awesome. We're done resting. We're not going to talk to Pavel again now, because I have actually run out of time for this very shady and weird video. Look at that face. That is... we can actually zoom right in. That's something we can never do before. This is as good as the graphics get as well, guys. So, yeah, I've run out of time for this video. So, sorry it's basically just been a tutorial and a little bit of story at the beginning. And me just rambling on about how much I love Dungeons and Dragons. But, I don't think we're going to get through the next episode and get out into the main meat of the game either. Because this is the sort of game this is. It's old school. I may do another episode of this. I may not. I don't know if I will. But I do love it. And I am going to be spending time with it regardless of whether I do videos or not. It is just... I don't know, the Neverwinter games and the Dungeons and Dragons games are kind of... I like how the scenery only pops in when I spin the camera around as well. Yeah, they're just they're kind of one-of-a-kind games. They're all very unique and weird, and Neverwinter does hold a place in my heart. So, I'll definitely be spending time with it. But, anyway, like I said, I've run out of time for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm not sure if you did, because, again, it's just been one big tutorial. But I very much enjoyed it. It's unique. It's unique. So anyway, as usual, I have been Lord Exsus, and I'll see you guys in the next video. In a bit.